Greetings and salutations. My name is Tish and welcome to the Artist Haven. In this live stream, this is, I don't even remember what day, day's number something in my 30 journals in 30 days challenge. I think it's day number 6. Yes, because we started last Wednesday and today is Tuesday. Look at me remembering what day it is. Yes! Anyway, well, when you're an artist, don't you kind of get lost in the days? You know, it's a day that ends in Y, and you're busy with, commissions, you're busy with a website, you're busy with social media, you're busy with YouTube, and then you got family and friends, and oi, that's all I gotta say. So today, I want to make an art journal, and where did he go? Oh, Lord, I lost him. Where did he go? Oh, here he is. So we still need to make the flip-flop notebook for in the back. But I found these were from an old art journal that I made for me. And I want to utilize these in a different way. So I was thinking this could be the front cover. And then this would be the first inside piece. And, but I made these when I was living, excuse me, I got the hiccups again. Breathe, Tish. Okay, I made these when I was living in Anoka, and I remember making these. And it was a part of a planner that I had made, and I used the planner for like 3 months. I spent like a week making this planner, and the reason why I didn't use it is because it didn't flow with me. I followed someone else's instruction to a T, like their printouts, their everything, and now I know why it didn't work, because I need to do my own thing. So I'm going to make something that's going to be flexible so an artist can do their own thing, but it'll still have an aesthetic, if that makes sense. So I brought out this guy because I thought it might be fun to put that on the edges of a piece of paper. And I'm trying to find my mouse here so I can make sure my stream is going well here, that I don't have the white circle of death. Last night, our internet went out right in the middle of the live stream, so I'm like scrambling, trying to get my phone to get signal, shaking it like an Etch-a-Sketch. I know that doesn't help, but it makes me feel better, so that's why I do it. So we're going to move this around a little bit. There we go. Sorry about that. Sometimes my screen refreshes, and I don't understand why that does that, but anyway. I've been sitting here, well, not really sitting here. I've been cleaning and trying to think of what color thread I want to use for the backside. This is canvas. And I was thinking of doing like a dark blue. But then I'm thinking, well, maybe, what if I have some rainbow, like variegated, or I have blue, like it's the ombre where it's the different colors all together. And I like to do at least a zigzag stitch around the back of these, just to make sure that this cover stays. And I love that these are like little fraying edges. I love this. So I want to make sure that that doesn't fray anymore either. So that'll happen mostly when we glue the notebook on the back. But I'm thinking I'm going to grab that blue variegated. Let me grab it. I think it'll look really cute. And I just need to... Cute, don't you know? My Minnesotan is showing. I know. It's okay. You can say it. Okay. Here it is. So it's kind of like, it looks like denim jeans. It actually says denim, but it's kind of that variegated blue, and I think it'll go well And blue is a primary color when it comes to physical art and, you know, mixing colors and stuff. Even though science does play a role, and you can mix yellow and orange and get, you know, green now because of the pigments and how they chemically react to each other. It's not true, yellow and orange, not those two colors. I'm only halfway through my caffeine, so I'm trying. I can't remember the actual colors. Like you can mix red and yellow and have it make blue, kind of thing, because of the way the chemicals react. I think we're gonna use, yeah, I think we're gonna use those, and then we need to make a notebook, and then I've got a piece. I was thinking we could do watercolor paper, but then I'm looking, it's 300 grams. And you want to get confused at how paper works? Look at art paper, okay? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you where my brain is at. I'm like looking for a lighter weight paper. So you look on here and it says 140 pound, 300 GSM. So this is 140 pound. This is watercolor paper. This is hardcore. And I was thinking of putting at least one sheet in here of this, right? Okay. Because everybody likes watercolor paper. And then you go to this one. It says 80 pound paper. So you think, okay, it's going to be a little bit lighter than that 140 pound because, you know, it's going to be a little bit lighter, right? No. It's 118 GSM. This stuff is like heavyweight. This is like 32 pound copy paper. So we're still going to use it because it's that tone tan, and I love this stuff because I love using colors on it, and white. You can actually use white pencils on it. And then you go to mixed media, okay? Mixed media is 160 or 98 pound. So we're not that far off from that original 180 gram. And this is 80 pounds. So you're going to think this is only going to be just slightly thicker than this. Oh no. Oh no, honey. This is 160 gram. This is like super heavy. Okay. And then we get to this 92 pound. And okay, so this one was 98 pound. And it's the exact same. It's the exact same. It's exactly the same. There's nothing different between this and this, even though it says 98 and 92. You'd think it'd be, oh, there'd be a veritable difference. No, there's 10 grams difference. To give you an idea, 10 grams is like, if you're like in the bakery world, 10 grams is like a quarter teaspoon or a half a teaspoon in weight, you know? So if you really want to understand paper, forget the American way of doing it. Just forget it. Just put it out of your brain and follow the G. Follow the G, the OGG. And go by grams. You'll get a better idea of what you're getting for paper. 65 pound cardstock that I get, that I print my ephemera on and a lot of my kits on, is 172 or 176. I can't remember GSM. And I know, so this is going to be slightly lighter, this 150, 160, and then this 118. This is like I said, copy paper. You know, maybe even lighter, because I think copy paper is, no, this is a little heavier than copy paper. This is like 32 pound copy paper. And I used to work in office supplies, yo. I used to work in office supplies. So the Brits have it right. They have it right. And we're going to go and we're going to put this around the edge. I'm going to do this real quick. So let's start some music for you. Where's my headphones? So I can hear and make sure it's not going to blow you away. Today is my day to download some classical music. I think I found a source that, come on, goodness sakes. So let's see if that works. But I really like this music, and I don't want to stop using it, but I'm thinking people are not really liking it, and I'm sad because it's good music. People want their own thing. Okay, so we're gonna find the end here. That has the UPC. Jeez, OP, words. That's not even a word, that's an acronym, Tish. Come on. All right, we're gonna grab these little scissors because I've been missing them. I used them to cut, fussy cut pictures out, and they got put in the box with all the fussy cuts. So, all right, I'm gonna get a sip of coffee and we'll wheel over to the sewing machine. Okay, sip of coffee taken. Now the other thing we need to be thinking about while we do this is I want a closure on it, right? We want to be able to close it up, but we don't want anything bulky because this is an art journal. This is something that people are gonna, I say people as in multiple people are gonna own this one thing. A person is going to do their art in. So, or they could do art somewhere else and put it in there, but still you want to have it be able to lie flat. So I think we're gonna go for just a basic ribbon closure and just have it tie closed. I'm pretty sure. I'm putting away this bobbin. I inherited a bunch of bobbins of Clara's, and Mikey still has her sewing machine, so I just give them when they're empty. I'm trying to use them up so they go with the sewing machine, you know? But there's literally 100 of them. So it's gonna take me a minute to go through them all. Okay, let's thread this machine up. Okay. And I just got this thread at Walmart. Oops, let's put it in the right hole. There we go. Normally I buy my thread at the Painted Raven. It's here in Elgin, Texas. And she does have a website so you can shop your Tim Holtz needs, your quilting needs, your sewing needs. This woman has a little bit of everything in her shop. I love this shop. I've loved it since the first day I walked in there with Clara. And I wish Clara and Stephanie had more time to get to know each other, because they would have been fast friends. And they're so much alike yet so different. You know, they're like just enough alike to get along, but different enough to remain friends. And there we go. So we've got our stitch width set at 6, our stitch length set at 4, and the zigzag mode on. And I'm going to start at the top here. Excuse me, goodness gracious, I got these hiccups and they won't go away. There are splatters on these glasses. So I swap out my glasses when I'm sewing. I put on a pair of like, I don't know, these are like 2.5 magnification, just so I can see where the needle's coming, because it's so far away. Why is it gotta be so far away? All right, off we go. And I don't zigzag these, or I don't backstitch these. I'll show you why in a moment. And I just go straight down the edge, or straight-ish around the edge. I try to sew straight, but I'm not very straight. Move that string out of the way. One more stitch. There we go. And I just roll it forward when I'm getting to the edge. I figure it's safer for me that way. Okay, changing glasses. As soon as I figure out how to have a camera over there and have this camera up here and not have to fiddle faddle with it both, then I will definitely make that happen. Okay, there's a rag on the floor. There we go. Put that over in the rag pile. Normally I have them hanging up, but it's been such a making frenzy up here. I spent the first 20 minutes just trying to find space to get to the sewing machine. So here's the bottom corner, and that blue looks really cool because it's dark, but then it's got flashes of light in it. And you can see I'm not real straight. It's okay. It's okay. So what I do is I pull the blue thread through. That's not going to help me. Let's grab a pin. Well, this isn't going to help me either. Maybe it will now. Where'd my sandpaper go? I know I have sandpaper here. So I'm just going to clean this needle, this pin off. It's not a needle, it's a pin. It's got glue on it because I use pins to like pop bubbles and glue, or you know, because I use a lot of matte medium and stuff like that. So it gets a little glue on it. I also use these to get the, different glues, the art glitter glue cleared out. So I'm going to pull the blue to the back, okay? And to do that, you just pull on your back thread, and it pulls the blue one up. And when you do this, you want to make sure you still have a complete thing up here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this one out, and we're going to pull the blue through here. Is that the one we want? I think so, yep. Okay, there. Put you back in your pin cushion. Okay, so we got all of the, so there's no threads on the front. And then, whoop, there we go. And then we're gonna take a little bit of this glue stick, and we're gonna glue the threads down. We're gonna glue this guy down too. There we go. They'll be dry by the time we need them. And then I take and I pull these taut. Now you don't pull them too tight. You just want to pull them tight, you know, taut. And then we grab a little bit of paper tape. One thing that I have learned making all these journals and working, you know, 7 to 10 hour days in the studio is there's things I need to readjust on my desk. Like there's things that I thought I would use more often, but I'm not using them as often as I thought I would. Okay, so we're gonna lay those all down. There we go. And then we're just gonna tear this little bit off right here so it doesn't go over the edge. There we go. We'll let that dry. And that back base is all done. So that's a piece of fine cardboard. I call it fine cardboard because corrugated cardboard sometimes is like really, really thick. I don't have a piece up here with me. I usually do. You know how it's really wide lines? These are really narrow lines. So I try to use those for the bases first because I like the way they look better. So one thing we need to do before we tuck that away to dry is we need to get its measurements. So I'm going to measure this real quick. And this cork is coming off in little bits and pieces. All right, so this is 7. Where is a marker? This is 7 by 5. This is height and this is width. Okay, just because sometimes my brain. So I'm gonna put this up here, and then we're gonna focus on that 7 by 5 for a moment, and we're gonna cut a piece of cardstock. This is just regular scrapbooking cardstock, not paper cardstock. And we're gonna grab our guillotine. Now we have 5 by 7, so we're gonna cut this at 4.5. Make sure that see if it's directional. And this is one of those linen-y wanted to be ones. So we're gonna cut it at 4.5, just like this. And I'm gonna put this in my bin that has all the flip-flop journal stuff in it. And then we're gonna cut this at 6.5, which I need to get this guy out for. Pop out his leg. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go a 1/2 inch smaller than the 5 and a 1/2 inch smaller than the 7. So 6.5. There we go. And this little piece will go in our little pieces of cardstock. Because sometimes they come in handy for making various different things. I can honestly say I go through a regular size garbage can, you know, like you have in your kitchen. It takes me about 6 months to fill that up. Because I use reusable containers and for my drinks, and I do drink mineral water. Give me a second. I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee. Okay, I gotta put this on the floor because I almost put it on the floor accidentally, and that's not what I want to clean up today. But everything I use, like even like my paper scraps, go in a bin, and then I'm gonna be making paper clay out of it. Or if you can keep your white paper, your lighter weight paper separate from your heavy papers, you can make a faux handmade paper. The best way to make paper, though, like an actual like art paper, is to use tissue paper or rice paper, like origami paper, that kind of thing. Okay, so I want to make a flip flop. We're gonna have it go this way. There we go. I want to make a flip flop section for our, and I'm gonna round the corners on these. Where is Vicini? Here he is. I'm gonna round the corners on this guy, and we're gonna ink the edges blue. Then we're gonna cut the pages. We're gonna fold the pages, and then we'll cut the pages, and then we'll glue them together. Normally I have these all made up, but for this one I didn't want anything too flashy. I wanted something that was kind of neutral. I don't want to, I want to inspire, not influence, if that makes sense. So let's get some blue ink. And I'm just gonna put the ink on the edges so this isn't white. So you can do this with a Sharpie or a Crayola marker. You don't need to have fancy ink. There we go. See, and I didn't really get the edges all that much. I did a little bit, or like the top side or back side. I did a little bit, but I'm okay with that. Handmade. So now let's figure out how we want to do this. I think we're gonna have to, I want this in the back because this is a little bit more sturdy. But I don't want the two stripes together, and I don't want that together. Maybe we'll call an audible, and we'll put some other kind of paper in here. I do have, where'd my stack go? There it is. I do have some coffee dyed paper over here in my stack somewhere. Oh, for Pete's sake, here it is. And it's kind of blue. So I'll add a pop of color. Yeah, I like that better. Put that up there. And I like to do 5 to 7. I find 5 to be the best because it doesn't get too bulky, but it still gives a lot of journaling space. All right, so I fold them this way because it's just easier for my brain, but for the flip-flop part of it, we actually need to fold them long ways. But I can't fold long ways for whatever reason, not very straight. So we're just gonna make sure our corner matches and then fold it down. Okay, so we're gonna do this. See, this has purple and blue together. So we got a pop of color there. That's how we're gonna do them. So this one's folded right. Let's get all these folded right. So this goes, and this is, I think this is, yeah, this is the cotton rag paper. So it's got a nice texture to it. You could even sketch on this if you wanted to. Okay. And then, who doesn't love graph paper? I love graph paper. I used to color in the checks. Let's just line it up like this. There we go. think we might have to put this one in front because it's kind of crooked. Excuse me. So this one, there we go. And then this one, this is some intuitive scripting. This is a digital from Robin McClendon, and her intuitive scripting is very Asian influenced, which I think is beautiful because mine does not look like this. Mine looks more like English countryside. Just very fiddly and like shabby chic-ish. Okay, so these two are about the same size. This one's a little bit bigger. This one's a little bit longer, so they're gonna do that there. That, and that. You know what? No, we're just gonna make this graph paper work because I like the graph paper here. And then that. Yeah, because I like this in the front. Okay. So we're all folded. So we got all the top seams up here. We're gonna do just a little bit off the edge here. Where's my pencil? There we go. So I want it right there and right there. And we're just gonna do a little bit off the edge here, and then we're gonna skim the bottom. So you can see just a little bit off here and a little bit off here just to make it a little narrower so it fits nicely. And we're gonna use the decal cutter for this. Now you don't have a decal cutter, you can use a ruler to cut it. Or they make little scissors. I know you can get them at Walmart because I got them at Walmart. Just my hands don't work as well as they used to, so I got myself a decal cutter. There we go. And we're just going to take off this bottom edge. There we go. Next in line is this guy. And I think he's perfect the way he is. We are going to straight cut the bottom just a little bit. I have one on either side of me. It's kind of funny. So we want this to be here like this. Yeah, we're just going to cut so he's straight. So just a fur off there and a fur off the bottom. Just to give them a little bit more of a neat appearance. There we go. Next up, we're going to bring out the decal cutter again. And we're going to cut this guy. Okay, so we're going to have him here, this here, like that, and then this here like that. So I like sometimes varying the width. So we're going to have this one right here and right here. Okay. Okay. So I did a little thin bead or a thin line of glue stick because I want to make sure that this glues down completely. Okay, we're just gonna put this pin in there temporarily because I don't want to fiddle. I love my I call it that's Hubert's badges. But I love my thing, but that needle is just really small. All right, so this is going to be a tuck spot here, a secret tuck spot. Keep it secret, keep it safe. I'm trying not to sniffle in your ear. I apologize for that. There we go. And then we had the graph paper, which we're going to put completely on there like this. So we want to make sure our folds, two folds, got a little glue on there, and we'll hit that with a glue eraser when we're all done. So your base fold and your two folds. So I'll flip this over so we don't get any glue on it. And then we're going to take the glue stick and we're going to glue these two together. We don't need the art glitter glue for this. We're going to glue, because this is just paper on paper, and so you don't need super heavy duty glue. I mean, I'm using my super heavy duty glue stick. Okay, there's that. And then we're going to do the same with this. And I'm getting the edge as close as I can to the edge, and then getting the middle. There we go. And now I just made a mistake. I went too far. So we're going to just flip this up, and we're going to let this dry upside down and this open, so that way this glue doesn't stick to anything. And we're going to flip this over. Actually, we can just flip it like this, and it should be okay. Okay, next is our stripy paper, and we have it this way. So we want to have it I'm going to make this right here and right here. And we're going to use straight cut for this, wherever he went. Move this over there. Okay, sorry about that. So we're going to cut this. Right there. And, oops, you can't flip it that way because I need my line. There we go. This can go in the bin. I need to empty that bin. In fact, that's what I'll do after this live stream. I will empty my bin, and I need to do a hard reset on this desk, but that is going to have to wait until later, maybe tonight. It's Tuesday night, so I don't have a live in the evening, and gives me time to edit and do all the other things that I want to get done. Okay, and then we're going to take this and now you don't have to do all matchy-matchy on the corners, but I do like it, and I'll show you why in a moment. Okay, so are we dry now, sir? Yes, we're dry. So we can fold you back in. There we go. And the reason why we're doing this first is so we can allow this to dry before we start manhandling it. And then we want this one. I want it kind of like right there. And then our deck will cut it right there. And right here. Okay. See, I don't know if this is just me, but this is really loose. And it doesn't tighten like the other one does. And it's crooked, and I like it. Okay, so we're gonna put this here, and that lays there, and I like that because the lines stick out here, but it looks like they're not there. Yeah, like it. It's like a secret. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Okay, there's our line, and there's a hair. Speaking of hair, I need to put my hair in a ponytail. Are you kidding me right now? I was gonna put my hair in a ponytail earlier, but I got distracted by Rhea. She wanted cuddles this morning, so I gave her cuddles. And for Rhea to want cuddles, it's kind of a rare thing. I was sitting at my desk drinking my coffee, making the plans for the day, getting things ready for tomorrow, you know, kind of thing. And she comes and she stands right up next to my keyboard because we have two desks right next to each other. And so she's all meow, and she puts her hand underneath my hand that's on the mouse. I'm like, okay. All right, we're gonna let this dry because this can just stay flipped open. It'll be fine. But till that dries, there's our back flip. This is the flip part of the book, or the flop part, excuse me, part of the book. Okay, you can decide which one it wants to be. You can be the or the flop. So, let me get our art papers out. That was my knee. I just bumped my knee into, I have these little drawers underneath my desk, my table, and I bumped my knee on it. So we've got I only want to put maybe 1 or 2 pieces of this in there because this is really heavy. So we'll take 1 piece of this. This is cold pressed watercolor paper because I like cold pressed paper. I've been using it since high school. And then we want I'm just going to tear this maybe because this might be fun to leave these on there just to give it some texture. I'm just kind of pull these little pieces off. Pull the pieces off. I mean, we don't have to do it for both of them, but I thought it'd be kind of fun. And it's perforated, so if whoever gets this doesn't like it, they can cut it off or tear it off. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one there just to be different. So we want 7 pieces of paper. So far we have 2, 4, 6, 8. So let's do 2 pieces of black. Because I don't think we'll get, yeah, maybe we'll get 3 out of it, or what we need out of it, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's move this down here. And then I was thinking, besides the art paper, I'm going to put 2 pieces of this in there. And then 2 pieces of mixed media. So that gives us 8 on each side. I usually do 7 on each side, but because these are not going to be like super fancy, like not super, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not going to be super, like lots of pockets, lots of stuffy stuff. I'm thinking I'm going to grab, I've got this rainbow paper. Do I have the graph paper in here? No. So I got 2 sheets of rainbow paper. Actually, I got more than that, but let's put this up here. We'll put a couple of sheets in there so people can, you can write ideas down. Plus you have the notebook in the back. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to cut right here. And the other thing I have, I'll put that in there too. So I'm going to cut right here. There we go. And those can go up there. And then that way, and then I'm going to cut this in half. So this is 8.5, so 4 1/4. We're just going to do 4 1/2 because that lines up with that line. There we go. So there's little, yeah, put that up there too. There's a couple of little journaling spots. Because words are hard. We're going to do 1. We're going to do 3 because they're lightweight. They'll be fine. Okay, so it's 7 inches tall, so we can go 6.5. So instead of that's about right. And then 5, and we want a 1/2 inch at least, so let's go 6. And we'll put that up there. So this is 6. So we're going to put a pencil mark. So we remember which way is up. And this one, we're going to do it 5. And I'm just going to take this, and we're just going to cut this off right down the middle-ish. There, that looks cool. Okay, and that can go up there. And I think this here is 8.5. So 8.5 by 5.5. So what we'll do is we'll take one of these, and we'll do the half thing again, because I think that looks cool. Okay, that we're gonna leave because we're gonna fold it that way, and then we're gonna cut this down. Oops, we want it this way so we can have it straight to about 6. There we go. And then we're just going to cut this edge off. This does not have the perforations, so I just because we're going to wrap it this way. So we're just going to take and go as close to the edge as we can. Okay. And then this one, I don't think we're going to need this one because this is 5 1/4 and a little over 6. So those will work. And then this page, I want to do the decal edge because this is that watercolor paper. Let's move these down. Let's move the scissors out of the way. So let's do it a little over. There we go. And let's get the edge here. And then this edge. And then the back side doesn't need to. There we go. Again, we're gonna fold some of these so there's there's some fold outs so that you can put different things in them. There we go. All right, time to reset here. Now we need to have a piece of cardboard, or not cardboard, but almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? Chipboard of sorts. And you can take chipboard and wrap it like a cereal box, wrap it in paper and put it on the back. I'm just going to use one of these. But I'm not sure. Maybe I won't. Yeah, no, I'm not going to because those are pretty. I'm going to get my chipboard pieces that I use for my other journals as the base. So let's get this out of here. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 3. 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need another piece of this just to keep the balance. You know what? We're going to do it this way. We're going to use this one. There we go. Just to keep it different. I'm not a matchy-matchy kind of person. All right. I'll put these over in the scraps. So there was another piece of paper. Let me find my box here. There's another piece of cardstock. And I think I'm going to use this for, this is part of that same art journal. This is actually kind of shimmery. This is just me playing with alcohol inks and just different things. It's just finding my wings. Okay, so I've got some, yeah, here it is. Perfect. This is handmade paper, so there's that, and then, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I don't need 2 pieces, just 1. Then this side needs an 1/8 piece, and then this will have the cover. Or wait, hang on. There. Now we made it right. Okay. So this will be our left side. This will be our right side. And then we got to cut this guy. And I'm thinking, I want to use this as the cover. Or maybe this. I like this one better. And then yeah. So let's do this as the back. See, it's got all that sparkle. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. I can't see my monitoring one. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're going to do. So, I don't want this decollage. I want this straight edged. I can do a decollage on the front cover though. That would be kind of cool. Okay, let's make sure this is straight by shaving off the edge. Okay, and then we want, so it is 7 by 5 is the size of our base. So we're gonna go 4.5. I'm wondering. So one thing I wish this thing did is this thing just flipped out instead of having to put it together. So how wide is this? Okay, so this is set. Let's go like a so. And we're gonna go 4.5 right here. Like this. That way we still have this nice big piece to use in another project. Toss that up there. So this was 4.5 and 6.5, which is right there. Oh, you know what? I like that. Let's leave that. Okay, so this is the piece of paper. Oh, pink. Sorry if you enjoy pink. I do not. I try and put pink in my stuff. I really do. I mean, this is more pink than I normally do. Okay, put that aside. So we're gonna have this. Uh-oh. We're gonna have to cut this down a little bit. Because we made it too big. It's okay. It's okay. We can cut this down a little bit. This is why I try to make these up in advance. So we're gonna line this up right here. It's not even straight. Okay, up we go. We don't want to come down on the edge. So we're going to give it a little push. There we go. A little more of a push. Okay. I don't know why this is so crooked. It must have moved while the glue was drying. So we're gonna fix that and not cut the paper. Cut the paper in the notebook inside. Ha ha ha. Okay. Cut this down a little bit. There we go. Now we should fit. Yep, we're gonna cut this down a little bit. Excuse me. Now I got the hiccups again. There we go. Still crooked. I'm gonna purposely make this one crooked. I think I just made it more straight. Oh, that's so much better. All right. All right. Sorry about that. I think I'm gonna make this. That's perfect. I think it shows just a little bit of the edge. I'll make this just a little smaller. See, this is where I get the this is where I get kind of the nitpicky. Like, no, a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, that was weird. I guess I need to clean my blade. I think I need a new blade. I don't know if they sell replacement blades for these. Yep, that's perfect, because I want a little bit of that background to pop up. Okay. Oh, I need that again. Oh no, we were gonna do the decal edge for the front. Give it a kind of artsy vibe. Okay, so I want this for the front. So we're gonna cut just this little edge off and see where we're at. And cut it right there. There we go. There we go. So let's put this on here. Let's take a little nugget out of here. Where is my oval? Now, a lot of people use circle punches to do their thumb holes. I like that, and that's their design choice, but I like using this oval because I think it just gives a cleaner line. And like I said, you do you, but I like that line a lot better. All right, let's hit this with the blue again, because we put a little divot in there. There we go. And we did all those cuts, so we're gonna hit the edge with the blue, and I'm not gonna try and round these corners because I am not a crazy person. Well, I am kind of crazy. I think you have to be crazy in order to do art. At least a little bit. At least question your sanity, because then you know you're not crazy, because people who are crazy don't question their sanity. Do I want it there, or do I want it... Oh, I like this better. Yeah, I like that better. Just see, there's a little pink for you. There's a little pink for you pink people. Okay. I'm going to put it a little bit crooked. And bump this up just a smidge. There we go. Okay. I'm going to put this down so it can dry. And we do want to have... I'm going to put a pocket here. So I'm going to use a stronger glue. There we go. That way we can let that dry over here. And then we need to cut these strings. So I need my scissors. There we go. And I want this to be yay tall. So I'm going to pop this, cut this right about here with the decal cutter. And then we still have this little piece here too that we can use. Yay! Okay. I get excited about silly things. And then I want this to come right here. So I'm going to mark this back side. And then for the covers, I do 2 score marks. Uh-oh, I lost my mark. No. Okay, this is going to be bottom. This is going to be this way. Right about there. So I'm going to mark it right here. We're going to do it real hard. There we go. That way I won't lose it. Okay, because we're going to score these really quick. And then... So we're going to make this a little bit more narrow. Yeah, that should be good. So we're going to cut this one right here. Okay, so this is ready to score. This is ready to cut. And we got another piece that we can use up there. And see, there's this on the back side. So I'm going to leave this on the back side. So we got to put this way. Yep. And I want all 3 edges of this to be decal edged, just for variance. God bless America. Stay where I put you. There we go. And then I'm going to have this go here. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the scoreboard, put this aside. Okay. So there's our score mark. Okay, so this is 4.5. So we're gonna go up. We're gonna go down 4.5. You know, I wish they had like markings on these scoreboards. So like this, like the underside, like let's see how this line is blue. And you could do every other line blue, but I don't have time to sit down there and do that. So 4.5 is where the top score is going to be. And then I like doing a 1/4 inch spine, but we're going to make this one 3/8 just to make it a little bit bigger. That's not right. That one is right there. Okay, so this is our cover, so we're going to fold it this way. And then fold it this way. So there's our cover. And then this one, we're going to do 2 1/4 because that's 2 1/8. We're going to do 2. And then we'll erase that. No, yeah, we'll do 2. And I realize they have these marks, but it's not really the same. Okay, I'll flip this over because it might make it easier. So we're going to line it up 5, and then we're going to go to the 3/8 line. Okay, and then this goes, and I know I'm not folding right. When you score, you're supposed to make the valley into a mountain and the mountain into a valley, but these are covers, so they're going to go either way anyway. I just want to see what it's going to look like. I need a visual. Okay, so that's going to go right there like that, and that's going to go right there like that. I like the little, that way it holds it nice and firm. Okay, now we've got our front cover and our inside front, and then the first part. Now we can do our pages. So I kind of flip-flop on this, whether I do all the left ones or all the right ones first. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of how you want to do it. Do one once, do all the right ones first, do all the left ones first, and then go back and forth. I'm finding for me, I like going back and forth. So you do you. But since these are fairly easy papers, we can just flip them upside down if we mess up, you know, and there's really no messing up. So I do want to take the watercolor paper, because that's going to pose the most challenge here. I want to give that an inch for binding, and then I'm going to give it a 1/4 inch like spine gusset thing, okay? And then we're going to fold this like so, and then we're going to make another score. It's 5 inches wide, so let's do 4.5, because that leaves us 3 inches. Yeah, 4 3/4. Oops. So this is why with thicker paper I like using a ruler, because it keeps me from going offline. There we go. Okay, so here's our little gusset page, and we'll come and glue on this one. That way it gives us a little bit of extra room. And then this guy is going to flip in here like that. Okay. And let's give this one, let's go to 6 3/4. No, let's just go right to the half. Okay, so this is going to be the back side. Okay. And then that's 6.5, but we need it down to like 4. No, let's do 4.5. So we're going to take this and we're just going to rip this. There we go. And then this one. These were all misprints, so I'm going to do a little. I guess I'm doing all my left ones today, just because that's the pile that's closest to me. But when we build it, it'll be different. So let's. Okay. What if we did, yeah, let's do, because it's white and I want to kind of break up the white, I want to do something different on the edges. My hair is all over the place this morning. After my bath last night, I just blew it dry. I didn't do nothing with it. No styling product. No nothing. Oof. Okay. Still looks good. Still looks good. Sometimes the little dots get stuck. And it's really, with the lights, it's really hard to see where the holes line up. Oh, I missed a spot. Boy, okay. It should take care of it if I'm really careful and get both of them lined up. No, with this, I don't know who thought of doing silver. They should be black. Okay, how am I gonna hold this? Haha, success. Okay, we're gonna take some blue and we're just gonna do the edge, ink the edge. Just so it stands out. But yeah, we got kind of a blue vibe going on. So I'm just kind of tapping it. And then we'll get the edge. Oh, I got blue on there. How did that happen? That's okay. I got an idea. I just got an idea to fix that. Okay, I need my stencil. Where did it go? Hang on, I'm on a quest. Where did that stencil go? I think it might be buried up here. I need to clean my desk because I can't find anything. You know what? Oh, excuse me. I get the hiccups and then I yawn. Then I get more hiccups and then I yawn more. There's a very specific stencil I wanted. And it was right there and now it's gone. All right. It's all right. We'll use this other one over here. Okay. Just gonna hit this with go. So we take blue dollar. We do this. And then come back with purple. and the grain. Okay, and then we leave the stencil on, maybe. And we take some rubbing alcohol, and I'm just going to use my hand, and I'm just going to spray. There we go, and we're going to let this dry over here. It'll only take a few moments. And then while that's drying, we'll come back to what we're doing here and clean these up so we don't get more blue ink everywhere. And we can put that stencil somewhere else. I was looking for my brick stencil because I thought it'd be cool to do brick, but cobblestone works. So we've got all the left ones going on over here. So, okay, we want, give me one moment, I'm gonna rehydrate and then we can drink a coffee and stand up for a minute and find that stencil because it's gonna bother me until I find it. Or I'm gonna look for it. I'm gonna look for it because I wanna use that for another project. But you know what? I'm gonna stand up still and just kind of take a deep breath because I'm frustrated right now because I couldn't find that stencil. So I need to take a moment and I hope you understand. Okay, instead of getting angry, I went and found what I think will be the closure for this. Okay, we're going to leave this edge. So we want, let's do 3/4 inch. So here we go. And 4 3/4. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we need to go a little bit bigger with this. Let's do 1 1/4. All right, now we can do 4 3/4. And I know. There we go. And then this one, I wanted to have it be on top. So we want, let's do 4 1/2. And 5 1/2. There we go. Okay, there's all our left-sided pages. Now we need to think right-brained. And so this is 7. I want that edge out. So let's do this at 4. And give ourselves a little space to glue it down with. Just gonna clear this. There we go. There's our right side. All right, and here's our watercolor paper. And I think we're gonna just go to 4 3/4 with this. And again, there we go. Let's do it's got gold splatters on it. Cool. We're gonna do do 3.5. Let's do it right here. I don't know what that is. 3 5/8 maybe? Yeah. Okay. So this is going to go like this, and like that, and like this. And we'll put something here. So I want to decorate it a little bit. Okay. So do 4. Let's do it right here. Okay. So I'm just gonna tear this. And this one, we'll do 4.5. So 4 3/4. Oops. There we go. So that's maybe that one. So we're going to have this one put forward. There we go. All right. Now that we got all our folds made, we can put the scoreboard away. That's why I try and do all the things at one time, so I have to keep switching back and forth because that gets annoying after a minute. Okay. I gotta move my coffee. Hang on one second. next step. Oh, we gotta get this guy. He's dry. Let's get this guy. Gently peel that off. Yes, that looks cool, but still gives them a place to do their thing. Maybe I need to do that on one of those pages too. I wonder. Let's flip this over. Let's bring this out. Grab this stencil again. And we're gonna do, okay, so I don't want anything on this part of the page. So we're gonna get, this map should work. And grab some tape here. Or, whoop. There we go. I got some lunar paste. So we're going to tape that down. I don't want this to move at all. So we're going to, oh, I can go right here with this tape. There we go. That way it'll hold it in place. We're going to take this lunar paste. I have never used this until a few days ago. And I need small scissors to open this up because I can't seem to get it with my fingernail. Make sure the plastic ends up in the bin, or when Maria comes in, she will find it. Excuse me. So I'm just going to use my finger because your finger tool is your best tool. And I'm just going to dab this in here like this. With a little bit. Okay. And then I've got, this is refined copper. Sounds fancy. And then I've got this weeping willow, which is more of a dark brown. And I'm going to use my finger again. And we're going to come in here and we're going to blend these. Right. I hope these are washable. Acid free. To clean. Clean liner paste from tools and surfaces while wet. Well, this is already dry because I put it on very thinly. All right, let's take this. This is distressed oxide twisted citron because I want to pop a green. And I'm going to bring this over here and I'm going to give it a good shake. And then I'm just, with the, I should have taken the thing off first. I just didn't want to get any on the okay, so I'm gonna hang this up here. I don't have a way to wash that right now. I'm gonna hit this with the hair dryer before I flub it up. Let's take this off quickly. Leave that down. I'm gonna put that down there because that's still wet. And then I'm going to dry this. My hair dryer's off. There it is. All right, I'm going to mute the microphone so I don't blow your ears out. And I just had a moment of realization. This was actually supposed to be the side that get glued under. So I'm gonna make sure that these are dry. It's mostly dry. So what we're gonna do is I got an idea. So if this is going to be tucked in on the right, then let's just leave it tucked in on the right. Okay, so I was thinking of doing like a ladder step thing. Where's my glue eraser? So that should work on this. I had a little bit on my hand and I got it on the black. So this is water-based. So the glue eraser should be able to take it off. Okay. How big is this? Okay, yeah, I'll just You know what? We're just gonna take our ruler and we're gonna take this off because it's fine. It's fine. There we go. So we brought a cobblestone element over here. Groovy. Now, I had to find my glue eraser and it was in my toolbox. And you know what? I'm gonna steal one of my hair ties that are supposed to be for my inks. I'm gonna put it on my head because hair is flopping in my face. And I don't know what happened to my hair clips. So I think they're, oh, they are over there. Okay. They're over on the other side. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Okay. Now we need this. And this is the part that goes by really quick. How big did I make this? I made it too big. It's okay. I'll make it a little smaller. Come on, work with me. So this is why I like using, like this is mixed media paper, but it bled through on the other side. That's why I love using the rubbing alcohol. All right. That's still too big. Okay. A little bit more. There we go. That's fine. Okay. We're gonna round the corners on this. This should be 6.5. Okay, yep. It's not 6.5, 6 3/4, which is close enough. But we have to do a little alteration here. So I'm mitering the corners. So when we flip it in and out, you don't see the paper behind. So there we go. There's that. And let's do notebook paper. I'm just going to fold this in like that. Excuse me. And then a white paper, black paper. Ivory. Brown. Notebook. Ivory. This is watercolor. Black. Ivory. watercolor. Notebook. I think we might have to take some pages out of here because this is getting really super thick. But we might not. There we go. Might have to trim that one down. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And then I thought this would be really cute because it's kind of plain, but we can hit it with some ink. Yep. All right, so we can make this work. Okay, so we got right side and left side. So right side and left side. Like I said, I might snip this down a little. No, it should be fine. I just didn't want to sit in there, right? Okay. So I smush it down as far as it'll go on the cardstock, right? And then flip it over. Make sure it's lined up where I want it to be. Okay, and it's pushed up as close to the line as possible. Flip this over. Get Herbert and glue them down. You don't want glue close to the edge, this edge. And then we're gonna do the same thing with this guy. Okay, so we'll make sure that's the top. Yeah, we're gonna go in just a smidge more. There we go. And we're gonna take I'm fiddling. I had an idea. What if we did like an extend a spine? So yeah, because that way it's still going to be thick at the spine, but that's okay. And then it gives them a little bit extra paper to work with. Just a little bit, it's not much, but okay. Now, we'll try it out, we'll see how it goes. And I'm not putting glue, I'm just putting glue, because you want that little gap, otherwise it doesn't fold out right. There we go. So this actually goes underneath here. See, now it kind of pops out, pops back in. There we go. And then this guy is going to go right here. Let's do it right there. Okay, again, away from the edge. And then now that we have two pieces down, I'm going to put a piece of paper tape down So I've got my paper tape, my glue stick. Give me a moment. I'm gonna get a drink of my coffee. I should be drinking water, but I'm not. Coffee's made from water, right? Right? And you may be wondering why I mute my microphone when I drink. It's because I have ice in my drink. It's iced coffee. It's coffee with chicory and then sweet condensed milk. So it's really good. Not real good for me, but it's really good. And it's what I go for, but it has ice in it, and I'm wearing a lav mic, and then I have a straw in it because I have an adult sippy cup because I spill stuff, and I keep it on the floor so that way it doesn't spill all over my artwork. It just spills all over the floor, which isn't usually safe from artwork. And I just don't want to be rude and like drink in your ear. Okay. There we go. I could have made that paper tape a little bit longer, but that's all right. I'm going to get this out of the way. So I don't need that anymore. All right, so that goes there. And then we're going to put this right here. Like so. If you have any questions while I'm working on this, feel free to put them in chat. I'll do my best to answer any questions that you may have. If you are catching the replay of this, put it in the comments. I check my comments every morning as I'm having coffee. I need to fix that so it doesn't do that anymore. I thought I fixed it already. Okay. We'll put the paper tape down since we have two pieces. I used to do it with every piece, and then I just realized that that was kind of overkill. But I want to make sure that this stays nice and flat, because when we put the back to the front kind of thing, I'm going to bring this all the way down to like right there. There we go. So make sure it's pushed all the way to the edge of the cardboard. Hold it down. Put some glue on it. And then give it a nice press. Okay. And then this guy is going to go right here. And I think we need to do, grab my scoreboard. I'm going to do just a little bit of a spine on this because he is so thick. Just a little 1/4 inch spine. There we go. And we do have that expand a spine thing going on over there. Okay. And then we can do this. Yep, that'll be perfect. Wrong way. And I just realized I'll probably have to do that spine thing on the rest of them, which is fine. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So that way, no, just for that one, I think we'll be fine. I'm gonna bring this down just a smidge. There we go. I made these as wide as I could. A lot of them, so there's not the amount of variance that normally the flip-flop journals have. Okay, this one's gonna get a piece of tape. Just because it's so small and I want to give people an ample place for doodling and note-taking and all the things. So we're gonna make this tape about yay long. So this is paper tape that I get from the Dollar Tree in the medical department, in the little medical area, you know, where Band-Aids and hydrogen peroxide and all that stuff are at. It's really strong for as thin as it is. I'm gonna put this at kind of an angle so I get that one too, because I missed that corner. And we're going to take the scissors and just snip this a little bit. There we go. Okay. What have we got so far? Groovy. Okay, and then we're going to do this brown, and we are going to do the spine on here. And 4 1/4. There we go. Just kind of helps keep things neater. You don't necessarily really need to do this part, but I like to do it on, especially on heavier paper. It helps it lay flat. I think we're gonna hit this with some purple ink. No, let's just do a dark brown. Let's do a dark brown ink. Just so it stands out a little bit. Here's my brown inker. And I'm just pouncing on it. I'm not doing anything crazy. Trying to keep it as straight as possible. It's just, it's getting lost in the brown from behind it. And yeah, I could cut it down, but like I said, I want to keep, I want people to be able to have as much space as possible to doodle. Okay, I think that helps. Without being too intrusive. There we go. Let this dry. I am gonna snip these off. There we go. So I just snipped off the, I don't know what you call them, turrets maybe? Yeah, so that makes it pop out. I think I might go back with a different color or something there, just to help differentiate. And I like the black, a little line of black. There we go. Okay. And paper tape. Let me take this and cut it straight as we can, because that goes really close to the tip. I still want to anchor it down. So we're going to go as close as we can. I feel like I'm on Price is Right. Go as close as you can without going over. All right. There's that. And now bring this guy in. He is, nope, that's the wrong way. Okay. This way. Okay, so let's do this guy and this guy. Why does that seem so crooked? Probably because it's on black. There we go. Let's see if that's gonna work. Why, yes it is. All right. You know, I wish they would have just made both of these rounded so you could just put it in either way. But, you know, design. So we need to snip the corners again a little bit. Let's make sure we go to the right corner. And this, again, is just so you don't see it. Okay. And we're going to go all the way up. There we go. Okay. we're gonna go as much glue as possible on this one, because this one, I don't want to go too crazy. Hold one moment. Okay, I have a lunch alarm because I forget to eat. Okay, this one I'm gonna get my brayer out for. So I'll make sure it's nice and adhered to the layers below. There we go. So now we got that one. I think we're going to do the watercolor paper. And then we're going to take these two out. And we'll put them in another journal. Because this is the, oh no, we got 3 here. Let's see. No, I think we should be okay. I want to keep the watercolor paper in there, and that's going to make this like super thick. And then I want to put like a piece of vellum here. Maybe, or some kind of just, I don't know. No, we'll just leave it because that'll look really sharp, I think, if we just leave it like that. You know what? We're gonna do a piece of plain white paper, but it'll be like, no, we're just gonna leave it. We're just gonna leave it because I like it the way it is. I'm like, white paper, I don't wanna. It's too much white. Okay, again, I'm going to go as close to that line as I can. What helps is that we have that little, I have that little spine thing going on. Okay. So now, oops, I got some glue on the back of that. That's not what we wanted to do. Take the brayer and push this down because we got a nice, this is going to be a nice little art journal for somebody who likes to sketch, who maybe wants to do some watercolor pencils, colored pencils. I wouldn't suggest pastels or oil pastels or anything like that, but something that is a drier-ish medium. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this, I'm going to have it a little lower than center. And we're going to open this up. Let's see where that lies. So right there, let me make a mark on here so if I lose my way, I can find it back again. So I'll make a mark right there. There we go. Because I want to open that up and I want to make this as flat to this edge as possible. There we go. All right, now there we go. Again with the brayer, because this is really thick paper and I just don't have the hand strength to push it down properly. There we go. Get the glue off. Okay. And then we're going to take one last piece of paper tape. Trim this piece. There we go. And then we are going to hit this with the boxing tape as well before we anchor it down, but not just yet. There. There we go. The backside does not need to look pretty. It's the backside. Okay. That goes down. That goes down. This is a hardy little book. There we go. Okay, so oh, dripping into the spine. That's no bueno. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to open this up. So we can push this down. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to take a clamp here. I'm going to clamp this right there. Now I'm thinking, what if we did something like this from the top? Nah, that's too much. We got plenty in here. So I'm gonna let this sit for a minute. Then we're gonna figure out our closure, because I thought this would go well with the back. It's nondescript. And we could take and do some fun stuff with it really quick. Let's see where we're at for time. Yeah, we're right where we want to be. So, this is a wired ribbon. So, no, it's not. It's not wired. Interesting. It might be a filament one though. Yeah, I see a filament in there, which is fine. That gives it a little bit more strength. So let's kind of wrap this. So we're gonna do this. Oops, bumped the camera, so sorry. And yeah, so we'll do right about there. That still gives us a good chunk. There we go. And we're gonna bring this over to the sewing machine. No, we'll do that at the end. And I think I'm just gonna leave it just because I think it looks pretty that way. And it's just gonna close it. So let's see where we're at with this glue. Actually, let's give this a minute. I'm just thinking out loud here, sorry. Because we need to find our tape for the back of this. We want to make sure this is glued down. Let's get our Fabri-Tac out. Because we're not doing this with our glitter glue, we're doing it with Fabri-Tac. So we're going to make sure these are all our edges are glued down. And it looks like we're pretty good. There we go. All right, so let me give that a minute. And let that settle out. Actually, this goes underneath it. Like that. Give that a minute to dry, give that a minute to dry. I've got the ribbon already cut. Is there anything else that I need to do? I don't, other than go, oh, you know what? I wanted to find something to put, excuse me, on that. I have a little scrap piece of the cardstock stuff. Don't think so. No. Yes, I have the cardstock stuff from the back side. So let's play around a little bit and make a little wang dinger thingamabob. Just to give it a little bit added interest. So let's do two inches-ish. A little shorter. All right. Okay. We need blue. Okay. So rubbing alcohol. Let that dry. And then do the blue. Where'd my purple go? Where did it go? It was right here, because I got the green. Aha. It got buried under the brown. Purple. And black. That's brown. There's black. Okay. Again, rubbing alcohol. Blend the colors. There we go. Boop. And then I'm gonna grab we're gonna get the distressed white ink. And hopefully we can get it to at least kind of look like something. So we're gonna wait for that to dry. Get this out of our way. Give that another minute. Okay, I think we're almost complete. Let's see. You know what? We could actually just use that side. Maybe we will. If this doesn't work, I've never had luck with this, but I know it's because it's a distress, and distress is not as crisp. I need to find a white that does what I want it to. I could emboss this, I guess. But I want to just make it look like it's writing. I don't necessarily need it to be legible. And we just got our white. Yeah, that's actually perfect. We'll put that there. Take a little bit of this newer paste. This stuff dries super fast. I'm used to my waxes. That they take a little bit to dry. I don't want that much. Okay, this is a little bit of a learning curve comparative to what I'm accustomed to, but it looks cool. So, so what I'm doing is I took a daub of it on my finger and I'm just kind of lightly pressing it against the edge. I just got a smudge of it right in the middle. That's okay. Okay, and then I'm taking another finger and I'm tapping it again and kind of just swiping it backwards. Because it's way too much to just leave on there. Stuff does dry really fast, which is good. I mean, that way you can, you know, put it in your project and be done with it. But I'd like a little bit of working time, please. I'm gonna do an incidental smudge down here. A few. There we go. Make that look intentional. That's what I love about mixed media art, is if you mess it up, you can fix it, and as long as you make it look like it's supposed to be that way, it looks that way. Alright, I'm going to spray a little rubbing alcohol, clean off my fingers, and I'll show you. I'll just dry out. I mean, for $6, I'm not going to complain. The other stuff I use is like $20 a bottle. And it's about twice the size of that, so I suppose it's comparable. I don't even know if they make it anymore. It's been so long since I've purchased anything of that nature. I still have some, so. Alright, let's get our fingers cleared off, mostly. So, and we're going to take this, and we're going to adhere it down to that. And then we're just going to leave that, and if they want to add something to it, they can. Oh, see, it's not dry. It was on the back side. That's all right. I'm going to make it. There we go. I don't think anybody's going to notice, but I know it's there. All right, there it goes. Let's glue this down. I love art glitter glue, but I hate how the tip gets clogged all the time. I spend probably 20 minutes a day cleaning out tips of bottles. Mostly art glitter glue, because that's mostly what I use, to be real. But, alright. And flip. There we go. Okay, this should be dry. Excuse me. So flip, flip. Oh, I was going to put some ink on here. Let's get this ink. And we're just going to just put a little bit so it has some definition comparative to its friends. Because everyone wants to have some individuality, right? All right. I'll let that dry for a minute. I'm gonna get a drink of coffee. Okay. There we go. It should be dry enough. So we're gonna put that in there, that in there, that, and that. And this is where we're putting this. I'm just gonna put it like that. And we're just gonna put a line of glue from those two lines. There we go. Wait. Okay. Do I have a piece of parchment? Yes, yes I do. Okay, so we're going to put a piece of parchment under here so it doesn't glue itself down, but that way you can still use this as like a little tuck spot or whatever. Okay, so that goes down, 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 that goes down. And I'm going to put a little paper clip on here because that's where else I'm going to put the price tag as well. So where are my clips? Here they are. Sit it on the floor. It's easier than trying to get it back in its spot right now. So this is just a little heart-shaped paper clip. It'll help keep that from flipping forward because those two kind of match up. I almost feel like I should put paper clip on this guy too. Let's put one of the big ones on there. There we go. Put him like that. Now, we'll get our roll of tape here. It's got all these little paper bits and fabric bits. So, this is box packaging tape, like what they use for shipping boxes. It is like $12 a roll, but I've had the same roll for I don't even know how long, probably a year. So what I do is I turn it upside down, get it to where I want it to be, and then make a little snip, and then bring it back up. Cut it straight-ish. I don't think I've ever cut a straight line in my life, unless it was with the paper cutter. And I just happened to get, there we go. So we're gonna put this over this. And where is my pencil? Okay, and then we're going to put one more. This. And a little snip. That might be a little tall. It's all right, we can come back in and snip it down. We'll do that right now before we get too far ahead of ourselves. So, no, we look good. Oh no, there's a little bit of tape right there. So we're going to take our little snippers and we're just going to follow there we go. Excuse me. We're going to take this and we're going to snip this. Because this got a little high. So there we go. It's still a little high too, but I'm okay with that. Let's just do this and this. Okay, and we're gonna put one more, no, we're gonna leave that exposed so the glue can stick to the actual paper. Okay. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. And then this goes on here like this. First, we need to find the middle. Okay, so that is that. I'm gonna take these over to the sewing machine and stitch them down so they don't unravel. Now we need to line this up. There we go. So we're going to put glue on here and glue on here and go with the flow. So the reason why I put glue on both sides is that way I make sure that there are no air pockets, or very few air pockets. And I do want to make sure this is really adhered. That's why I use Fabri-Tac. Okay, make our big X. Okay, there is a bubble coming through. There we go. Okay. See, sometimes it gets slimy because there is a clump. There we go. And then we're going to come in and about a quarter, half inch from the edge, we're going to do another square. Okay. And those should be good. So set this down. And it gives us a little time for wiggle room. And then there we go. All right, now we take, I don't know if this is gonna clamp. There we go, one clamp there. One clamp there. Gotta grab my other clamps. Okay. Don't want this because I'll untie that, so clamp there. Clamp here. One clamp here, and then I'm going to untie this. And then we're going to put one clamp. This one reaches in a little further. And then I got to grab my other big C clamp. Hang on. And we come in with this one, and this one goes right in the middle. And you can do a couple of them in the middle, but this one's so small. I think between all of this, this will be all nice and clamped down. We're going to give this some time to dry, but I'm going to bring this over the sewing machine, and I'm going to fold this over and then over again on itself, just to give it so it doesn't, it has some weight to it. And this way I'm making it longer than it needs to be. Just for the simple fact that if a person doesn't like the closure, they can change it. All right, I'm gonna go over to the sewing machine. I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch forward and back really quick on this. I'll be right back to the camera, but I'm still here. This is why I love my lav mic. It lets me talk to you even though I'm not in front of the camera. And as soon as I have another camera set up, this way you can see what I do when I sew. But right now, I don't have the other camera set up. Because I need to get it yet. I have two Kyo Pro webcams, and I'm looking at the new Elgato, but I'm trying to find out if it's going to work for what the top down, and then I'll use the Kyo Pros for the other stuff. So let's get this started. There we go. One more. Okay, that's done. And this one. It's just fiddly. Now this is really stiff now, but as you use it, it'll get softer. It's typical burlap. Okay, move the thread. Now I got the hiccups, excuse me. There we go. Okay. There's that. Switch off my other glasses. There we go. I'm just gonna clip these shorter. I'm gonna leave them, but I'm gonna clip them shorter. There we go. While we wait for this to dry, I'm going to bring out my journal from yesterday real quick. And I want to see. I haven't looked at it yet this morning, but you guys will get a sneak peek because no one's seen the finished product yet. All right, I'm going to set this over here. We're going to give it another few minutes to dry. I'm going to put the needle back in here. Or the pin. It's not a needle. I keep saying needle. It's not a needle. Needles have holes in them. We'll leave that there. Just gonna kind of smooch things around here. Put this over here. Put this over. Vestini back over here. Put that up there. Let's get this. I'm tidying up a little bit, just because otherwise it gets overwhelming and then I get overwhelmed and that's not cool. All right. So this is how it dried. I wonder, I might go in with the lunar paste and touch it up a little bit, but I'm so excited. I'm such a dork. So you need to put something here, and I thought maybe cutting this down, because that way it'll cover that up. I think I will, but I'm gonna put it on a piece of cardboard of the other board. This stuff. Where'd it go? I don't know where it went. I had a piece of it. It was floating around. And then put that like on this side. Like this side I'll just leave so the book page kind of comes through. You know? But then on this half I will have like a pocket right here, like a little place you can tuck things. It's just a little one. It just needs to be little though. That's why I got that one. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll get the parchment out of there. And that is what that will look like. Or maybe I will just, yeah, I kind of like it. I don't know. But we're going to put some other things in here. So we have all these cool pages. And that flips out. And there's a pocket there. That's there. Middle. Okay, this goes here. Where did my scissors go? There we go. And I'll just use this. And this goes right here. Okay. There's that. And then this one, can't remember what page we were going to have it on. There's a pocket and a pocket. That's it. We're going to put it on this one. Because this is plants and diseases, and then I have a skull. It's epic. So we're going to leave that there. Flip this over. And I am going to make this into a tuck spot. Come on, you. There we go. So I'm going to put glue right here. There we go. I'll leave that blank. Okay. All right. Let's get, let me get this darker. All right. I'm going to do this really quick so this can dry, and then I'll put this back together. I have an idea for that. Oop. And then let's tie this off. This one isn't quite done, so we haven't stamped it yet. In fact, I need to stamp a bunch of them that I did. But yeah, I think that looks so cool. It's a little glossy for my taste, but... And that isn't fully cured. I can still, it's not completely translucent. That's been sitting there for like, I don't even know, 12 hours? 18 hours? Okay. Let's get back to our task at hand here. We should be good to go. Release this one. There we go. All right, now we just make a bow. There. It's a little bit long. That's okay. So there is our art journal. And if you wanted, you know, if they want to change the closure, they can. I just wanted something flat and easy to do. So when they do open this up, I'll get these off my desk real quick. Excuse me, let me take a drink real quick. Okay, so when they open this up, so I wanted it to be like flat. So when they open this up, I might rethink this, I don't know. But okay, I fold them all in at once. So the full effect is not here. So let's we'll fold it back in. So these flip up and open up and give a place to journal. Okay. And I always like to open them all up, make sure there's no glue sticking. If I need to, I'll use my glue eraser and clean them up a little bit. But sometimes you get ink on them and I'm not gonna worry about it. It's a junk journal for a reason. It's not gonna be pristine, it's handmade. Even some stuff that I've gotten manufactured isn't pristine. It's like I paid $18 for this $8 piece of crap, but it is what it is. Okay, are we still? Nope, we're good. Okay, so I'm gonna put this down, and then we got this, and it folds out just a little bit extra. That's my experiment. And then we've got this guy who should be dry. Nope, not quite yet. So we're gonna leave the parchment in there with him. So, but he flips out and over. And there's a little space here if you wanted to, put a paper clip or something, you could. And then we have that. And then this guy, you take the paper clip off, and it gives you a place to art. It's got a little imprint of the paper clip, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that texture. So we'll put it back. Oh, let's put it back the right way. There we go. And that, another little journaling space. There we go. And some more art paper, and some more art paper, and some watercolor paper, which folds out. And should we put a pocket in here? I don't think we will. I think we'll just leave it, and if they want to add that, they can. And then we pull this over and this over. There we go, like that. My hands do not want to work today, so someone who's got well-functioning hands. Okay, I did that upside down. Oh, Lord have mercy, I can tie a bow. I've been doing this since preschool. Okay. There we go. Why? You know what? We're just gonna let it be. There we go. I like it like that, actually. So there's your art journal. And it's very nondescript on the outside and ready for your beautiful art on the inside. And just checking, we got a nice adhesion. There's no, see if you can squeeze it and hear air bubbles, that's when you know you have a problem. But I hear no air bubbles, and it's nice and firm. So you stick it in your bag, put your art bag, your little pencil bag in there with you, and you can take this wherever you want to go. So that is today's journal. Join us tomorrow for the next journal, which will be a basic journal, just a front cover and a back cover. There's no wrap. I can't remember what we're going to be doing, so you're going to have to subscribe and get your notifications set. Go to my homepage, and you know it'll be there. If you're catching this on the replay, you get to see it like right now. So lucky you. You guys have a great day, and remember, be kind to one another. Peace, love, and happiness. That's what